And then because he doesn't want to use bikes against cops, yeah, I got pissed off when I said that. And then he said, keep that comment to yourself, or we're gonna have problems or some shit like that. And then I guess you turned off the radio or just stopped responding, and then me and Smalls ended up getting arrested.
Well, in fairness, he did ask for
So
somebody else
basically
to
a
help.
fucking shit show, the whole thing.
I mean, yeah, the thing that sparked the whole thing to begin with was just the cops, or more
Yeah, no,
specifically
I understand. The
Davenport being a
cops have
pain in the
been fucking
ass, like
assholes, you know, the last
literally 2
fucking 2
minutes into the
months.
chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what sparked it.
Okay, so first of all, you know, like, I understand you guys had an argument in the middle of you getting chased by cops, you throwing out something out of pocket, I would say, because
Yeah.
nobody here is
At
best
least he
friend
knows
with a
it's out of
cop.
pocket.
Nobody
No,
should ever
I'll
mention
own up
that.
to what I said.
I can see where you're coming from. You're heated in the situation, but that should never fucking occur.
No,
At the
but the
same
reason
time,
I
we should
said
be
it,
able to help each other. It doesn't matter whatever entity. If you need to get a helicopter, fucking car, a fucking bike, a fucking tank, a fucking boat, whatever you can do to help people who's getting chased from
and
the
that's the
cops,
reason I made the comment.
we should be
is
able.
because
Hey, let
because
me
of that.
speak. Don't speak over
I'm
me. I'm
sorry.
talking.
Yeah,
Right?
my bad.
Yeah. We should be able to help each other out, you know, if you're on the job. But I think the major, maybe, I don't know if I'm wrong when I'm saying this, but what was the actual plan for this wall? Did we have a plan?
Yes, we had a plan.
Okay, so everything
The
just
plan-
went sideways, and then we need to improvise on the spot. Is that what's went on here?
So, you want to? Okay, very TLDR of the plan, pretty much.
Yep.
We were gonna drop off one person that didn't have the loot at a swap. We did. Mona had the loot. We dropped her off at JJ. She was still getting like they were getting chased by the cops, and then it was me and Donut left in the
Anonymous,
car.
thank you
I
so
was
much
just
for
gonna
keeping us
drop off
Sabrina
Donut at a
Chandra.
bike, just so that they had like multiple different chases to go to, right?
Yep.
Maybe a
And then the
wardrobe
cops
point
started
of
going
view.
super hard on me, and then,
Maybe.
like I said, Davenport pitted me into a tree. I flew out the windshield, and I'm surprised I didn't go down, to be honest. And then they just started going super aggressive, and it was just one of those, like, you know how typically everybody is good other than like one or two people, so everybody just has to like help out, and then more people end up getting in chases, and other people get out. It was just kind of one of those. Is what it was.
All right. Appreciate that. JJ, why didn't you want to help them? We're getting chased by 5 different police officers because of the bike.
No, I first of all, like, I got Mona away on the swap. She had all the loot. She got out. Then I picked up
and
Nigel.
to Spork as well.
We had literally the whole police
it.
force in R1.
Yeah.
And we started like I think it was like maybe the 4th swap, so like the cops were fucking pissed. So we did a swap with Smalls. And then whenever he said that shit, I decided I'm not helping you anymore. So I just decided not to help him.
So he asked for a bike to get picked up, and you said, I'm not bringing another bike. And then he said the shit, and then you went off and was like, hey, I'm not helping the boys out.
I'm not helping him out. No. After he said that out of pocket shit, he can go to jail and think for 60 months.
Yeah, that's not how we deal with shit, JJ.
Well,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's definitely not how we should deal with shit, you know? Like, I agree with you.
When someone says that shit, when someone says to me on the radio mid-job, someone that's not best friends with cops, go do something.
Yeah,
he can go fuck himself.
I don't care about your justification for it. Right?
Okay.
We don't take that attitude, Nigel. That shit you
Monroe,
said wasn't
thank you
even
so much
just
for the
out of
emails.
pocket. It's off the cuff, especially to say to JJ.
Appreciate
might not
it.
have meant it that way. We don't put that shit out into the world. Period. Right?
Devil's advocate? Question mark.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Like that shit. I don't give a fuck what happened to you. Those words should never leave another seasider's mouth.
I'm with both sides, but
and
he did say he doesn't want
about the cops
JJ's
being
help.
more upset because we bring whatever we bring. The cops are fucking upset that we're breeding at Seaside on a daily fucking basis. Like, I know that you, JJ, haven't been dealing maybe as much as we've been dealing.
I'm not gonna say it
with
because
these
it
guys,
doesn't add
but
anything to
I'm
it.
telling you, like, you wearing a Seaside flag and breeding is upsetting them.
You can see it from both sides.
Hard.
I agree that that's not how you should
I gotta be
do
honest
it when
with
you're
you.
with,
If somebody's in danger, it doesn't matter what tools you need to use to be able
But
or
out of
try
pocket
to get them
shit
out of it.
is also not
we need to help out
when you're in a situation.
And we should fucking stop arguing in the middle of things, because then this is happening, you know? Every time we start to argue in the middle of a heated moment, like, I'm not justifying anything, but at the same time, heated moment, somebody says something, I will be
Well,
angry as you as
Prolus,
well. Maybe go off the radio, or I would say the same thing Nigel
has a
said. You know
tendency
what I mean?
to ram
Because
as well.
you're in, a
Simo
predicament
got
where everything is
fucked
kind of like running fast.
because Davenport
Like Reggie
rammed the
said,
car into him.
never fucking mention that shit again.
At
All right,
Hayes.
Nigel, you get me?
Yeah, I got you. Listen, I shouldn't have mentioned it to begin with, but I
Yeah.
can guarantee you, if it was interpreted in a certain way, it wasn't meant in that way. That's all I'm gonna
but
say.
you know how it will interpret. If I tell
No,
that,
100%. No, I got you.
you will not help me because you're friends with the cops. You know,
Yes.
it's
That's the
you're
thing.
hitting
If you
under
start
the belt.
arguing when you're in the
Yeah,
middle
I
of
mean, the way
shit,
that it was
it's always
meant
going to
is
turn
because I
bad.
mentioned a bike.
Doesn't matter what wait.
You talk about it
No,
after.
I know. I was
how
just
how you
trying to
mean the words
clarify.
you're saying? You know, yeah, I understand you're trying to
we
clarify.
don't we don't expect that you will. What KJ says, we don't expect that that's what you meant by it. I don't even think
Yeah.
JJ thinks that. But regardless of that fact, those words should never be uttered into existence.
No, I got you.
Because
Yeah.
you know, it's just very easy for people to give a shit.
No, 100%. It was just the fact that
Put your fucking
no.
phone down.
I was just mentioning. I don't know. It was just I wanted help.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember if I mentioned the bike as I was running on foot. I was getting chased by cops and shit was fucking hectic. I just wanted
moves
help.
fast.
Period.
You know, you needed
Yeah.
help, and yeah, no, I understand.
I just wanted help. Period. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I said it before we crashed out, after, or while we were crashed out, or anything. But yeah, I mean, the reason I said that someone that isn't best friends with the cops is because the way that it sounded was that I mentioned a bike and he just didn't want to come help because I mentioned the bike. So at that point, I was just trying to get anyone that wasn't still getting chased to come help me. That's all it was. There's no deeper meaning to any of it. That's quite literally all it was.
Okay,
So,
and I got a question, like JJ, like what is it with you, like in bikes, you just don't like them or something?
No, I'm just gonna be honest with you, Draco, and everybody here. Like the plans that I've heard that we have done lately, like besides the whole teacher thing, I thought it was,
Yeah,
that was cool.
that's what I mean.
Like it's just
Spark,
lazy.
like,
It's just plans that like
it's
we're
the
hitting
way
the
you
vault,
act around cops
we're
is gonna
seaside.
say a lot
Every
in
single
terms
plan,
of
like
in
or
a
almost
chase.
every single thing that for example, I do
And
with the
I
claims.
know people are
whenever
fed
we
up,
do it,
or
like
the
it
way
has a meaning.
Seaside
Or it
does
has,
things.
like,
It ends in
I've
shootouts a lot of times.
I've gotten away, like I'd say 95% of the times at the vault, never used a bike.
Didn't
on
JJ make
any
the
of
plan? Yeah, but it's still half-assed when you like
So,
just
like,
have
I'm
to
just
make
That
a
also
plan.
using a Camacho driving up
Yeah.
and down.
I mean,
hills,
Camacho.
JJ.
Honestly, Camacho's better than a bike. Trust me.
But I mean,
Yeah,
if you look at
he's
it
not saying that
from another
he's not justifying
perspective,
his
is
own. He
Camacho
said he
not
had
just
to
the
come up
same
with
as a
it
Oh
fucking
no,
bike?
on the
trust me,
spot, so it's
trust me.
probably lazy.
It's
Trust
not
me,
on
they
the
hate
same
the
level.
I'm gonna be honest.
It's
I'm
not
gonna be
on the same
honest with you.
level.
I don't really care how the cops feel because the last vault we did before this one, we used nothing but local cars, not a single bike. In the entire chase, we had 4 bike units on us. We never even used a bike, and they still had bikes on us. Why the fuck could we
RPs
not use
can't
bikes if
improv
they use
anymore.
it?
What are you talking about?
I don't get it.
Why?
I don't care. I don't really care, right? And like, this is the thing, JJ. I'll be very honest with you. I know, I understand you like doing your jobs a very specific way, and I can respect that, and I've always respected it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We like doing our jobs another specific way, right? Like, I know you saying, oh, it's lazy because we might use bikes, whatever. I could say, oh, it's lazy because you use a grapple gun and grapple away. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's a double standard. It's kind of whatever. People just do the jobs how they enjoy doing it. I don't really see it as like a lazy fact. I would understand if it was maybe like we use like 5 bikes back to back. Okay, then maybe I could be okay. Yeah, it is a little.
Yeah, or you just get
that's a
into a
little
car and just
overdoing it.
drive around, you
Give it a
know, with
sec.
no fucking plan. That is lazy.
Yeah, but you know, it just can't say it's lazy. It's just boys enjoying doing stuff a little bit different.
Yeah.
That's about it, you know. As much as the boys respect whenever you have a claim and they do the stuff the way you like it, you should respect it whenever they have a claim and then you join their job and they wanted to do it a certain way too. That's how
Well,
I feel about it.
listen. I did whatever they wanted to do. Like they wanted me outside. I stood outside. Like I got Mona out on the swap. Like I did everything that
No,
they
no,
asked me.
100%. No, you did it. I'm not saying you didn't. It's just it became an issue when, yeah, someone said an out-of-pocket comment, which is whatever. It happens in the heat of the moment. But now this is what, in my opinion, this is the second time now that you kind of turned your back on your own boys and just decided to let them go and not give them any sort of help. I don't really like that.
We also need to like learn to cut our losses. Like we got the loot out. If 1 or 2 of us go to jail, who gives a fuck? We have all the loot
Yeah.
out.
Okay, last vote. We didn't use a single bike and 2 of us still went to jail. We cut our losses. I don't
good.
know what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
you
which
know?
is the
It's-
I'm
truth
just saying,
because
like,
Seaside
it's not-
does
you're-
end
I mean, but
in
you're saying
shootouts
these
a lot of the
things, you're saying
times.
certain things like we don't cut our losses. We just try to keep going nonstop. I mean, that's not the case at all. You know what I'm saying?
If
Last
someone's
time,
cuffed, leave them.
yeah,
But if
yeah.
they're still running on foot, there's still a chance to save them.
Actually,
Like,
last
I don't
vault, 2
care.
of the boys were still running on foot, but they said just leave me. There's nothing we can do because at that point we have been all of our cars, local cars that we had been spiked. We've been tased multiple times, so we just kind of said, "Fuck it, we're gonna have to leave."
Talking
Those
about the
2
one where
boys
you
behind.
picked up my Vagos?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, bro, they were nightsticking me and tackling me and everything, and I still got out. Like, there's always a chance to get somebody out. Like, I guess people are different and we're different. It doesn't matter if I hate somebody, right? If I were to like hate Draco with a burning passion, I'm still gonna help him. Like, it doesn't matter what he said or what he did to me. Like, I don't know. That's just me though.
All right. So is this something we can get over? We can apologize. We can move forward. We can talk it out. Is there? I think between you two.
I just
especially-
wish that like for claims and stuff, it's once every 3 days. Just we should all just put a little bit more thought into a plan to get away, into something to do, like to make it special. It doesn't have to be fireworks. It doesn't have to be like the Independence Day fucking show.
No, but JJ,
we should
be
doing.
To stand there and tell me that we don't have any plans for the jobs we're doing for the vault.
Let me ask something. Like, so why are cops so aggressive?
It's a combination. Like if they see bikes, they see red. Like, and trust me, that if they start seeing bikes, if they start seeing any kind of swaps in regards to bikes, they see red. I've told the boys.
Why are they
hold
seeing
on,
fucking
Reggie.
reds when they've got their own fucking bikes that they can use?
Reggie, listen to me. I've told the boys multiple times. I gave up, by the way, on this, but I told the boys multiple times, scratch cars, scratch A classes, because you can upgrade them easy, like cost like $5,000-$6,000, and you have a fully functional A+ car to use in getaways. Like the car that I use in getaway right now was a scratch. I didn't have to use my GTR. I didn't have to use an S+ car, and every time I just ask, does anybody else have a scratch? Nobody does shit. Like I gave up on it because like I'm whatever. It's not my issue right now.
Nobody does shit. Like,
what are you talking? Because we don't want scratches. We use local cars. It's the exact same shit.
Why?
No.
No,
What's
it's not.
the difference between a scratch and a local car? Please.
Why would I want to
JJ,
waste
What do you
time
mean?
and
You make
money?
it from an A to A+. Like
Who cares? I don't. But that's the thing. I don't care. Like, we do our little
well,
plan.
then
Our
we can
main plan
complain
is to
about
make
like
sure.
getting pitted, and because like then you just don't. They'll just catch up onto
Okay,
you.
we complain about getting pitted, but at the end of the day, we deal with it. Like, it's not like we complain and like we're so
No, you
tired of
don't
it.
deal
Like,
with
no,
it.
we still deal with it. Whatever. We still get
No,
the
well,
You
money.
don't see the
that's-
benefit
that
of
was
us.
That was the point of the entire question. Why are you getting pitted into walls? Why are they getting aggressive with you? Other than we're taking bikes out of the equation here.
The bike wasn't even in the
yeah.
equation to begin with.
no,
We got
like,
pitted literally 2
listen,
minutes
the
into
last
the chase.
the last vault we did before this one is the perfect example. We used nothing but local cars. We didn't use a single S+ car or whatever. We used 0 bikes. The cops still had 4 bikes paralleling us and behind us the entire time.
And they're one.
And they're one, and they kept pitting us into walls. They were spiking us every fucking corner that we returned. It doesn't matter what we do.
No, that's no.
We're gonna get the
you guys-
same
Draco, hold on. That's
You guys,
also like
no, you hold on. You guys are still avoiding the question of what Michael said. Michael, the answer is because PD felt a certain type of way because we had shootouts close to each other, like a day apart, because we kind of had to do it for one of the jobs. It was an S+ boost.
Mhm.
And then the next day, there was one that happened before, and I can't remember. I think it was an S+ as well.
yeah,
and what happened with that?
We
But-
did an
and
S+.
then after it,
Yeah.
we did a race, and cops literally were doing the dumbest shit to the point where I said, yeah, I'd be shooting the cops at this point. Like it takes a fair bit for me to actually sit there and say, yeah, they deserve to get shot for how they're acting in this. And you've got Davenport that's poking and prodding the whole time, riling the boys up with his fucking stupid comments that he says. Then that makes it so the boys are going to get frustrated. And then you've got Davenport, who's got a severe hate boner for Seaside. And anytime he sees them, he's going to try and put them into a wall.
Right.
So now, if they can work out that it's Seaside, they're going to do everything they can to shut that shit down, because they're still feeling a certain type of way from shootouts that haven't even happened for a while now. But they continually still bring that shit up.
There's one more thing, Reggie. It's not just like that. That is obviously a factor.
Mafia, thank you so much for
But
joining.
another factor, and that's something that I've learned with racing, and I've learned with yokai, is that if you go a certain speed, the cops literally won't hit you. So unless you go
no.
no, hold on, no.
Yeah, that's
If
not
you
true.
if
That's
you go
not
on the
true.
4th or 5th swap, they'll get aggressive. But like at least in the chase, in the beginning of the chase, if you have an A class compared to an A plus car, you can get up to a speed where they literally like they won't pitch you if you drive well.
Pitch
But,
you
like,
What would that
150
speed
into
be?
a
No,
fucking
okay,
wall.
all right,
What
fine.
is
I've
that
been
speed?
pitted
I'm
at
gonna- okay,
130 no
whatever.
matter what, bro.
No, I'm saying
Okay,
because I
alright.
got
Like
pitted the other
JJ.
day going 135, like literally on a straight 135, and he tried to pit me.
The thing is, like, I understand a certain speed they were not pitting you, but nowadays they don't give a fuck. They had, when we were in that race,
It's
they had 5
SOPs,
cop
but
cars
it
in the
doesn't
middle of the
change. They
race.
still do
We
it.
were driving 120 to
It's an
150 miles
endless-
per hour.
It's an
and they
endless
were
loop
sending
of
it
escalating
in every
on
fucking
both
corner,
sides.
sending people left and right. They
Oh,
didn't give a
they did
fuck.
not give a fuck. They literally just drove through people.
Yeah.
That's
They were
why. Like
participating.
they
are
almost T-boned myself and Shano at about 120.
Yeah.
It's
So the
just
certain
so much
speed
dumb
you're
shit
talking
in there.
about is not existing. The same with them spiking you. Certain speed is not existing. They will still do it.
But
So
again,
when-
it's always Davenport involved with this shit.
There's a
So
reason
the-
you just get
price
on
is
less
one
more
portion.
from both sides. Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing
This is not
when
on.
it comes
This is
to us,
not just on
because we had
cops.
this
It's
2
on both
shootout
sides.
with the S plus boosters, and we had the shootout in that one race. After that shit, I don't think we had a single incident of shootout. But every time we go out, do a boost, do a bank, doesn't matter how big or small it is, you get the whole fucking police force on you. We had a guy being in a bank, putting away some money with his girlfriend. It was Terry. A cop comes in. He's like, the cop's trying to talk to Terry. He can't hear because the radio's on. He tells the cop, hey, I need to go off the radio to listen to you. I can't hear you. Get off the radio. The cop said, can you take off your mask? He was like, why? Immediately, the cop went on the radio and said, hey, I
Kyle.
need 78. I'm about
Kyle
to get
is
shot from some gangbangers.
antagonist.
That is what we're dealing with right now. It
He
doesn't
presses
matter
people's
if you do
buttons.
20,
But that's because
bike
so you have to
swaps,
see like
car
this, right?
swaps,
People
helicopter,
on the server
boat.
are
Doesn't matter how
very
fast you're
quick
driving. Doesn't matter
to shoot.
what car or where you are. You're a
Kasuna, thank you
seaside,
so much for the
you get
11
target.
months. So if you press somebody's
That is what
button,
we're
that is
dealing with.
enough justification for them to shoot somebody, which is
All of this is experience
dumb.
at firsthand too. Like everyone has had their own individual run-in with the cops, where, like Terry, for example, right? He got the whole shit that KJ just said in the bank.
Yeah, he
My
got
shit, when I was
6
driving
police cars,
135,
2 bikes,
exactly.
and a helicopter.
They're
on him
super
for
overly
that bank.
aggressive as of recently. Like everyone has had one run-in or another with the cops where they've experienced this shit at firsthand.
And we're
Now,
trying
JJ,
to
to
as
add on
well.
to that, when I talked to Bloom about that situation, because Bloom was the cop that did all that, I asked him like, what's going on? What was with the fucking show of force against Seaside? And he said that someone on radio said that that it's Seaside and probably going to get shot. And so then aggression got amped up because there was multiple cars that were there and all this kind of shit. See, here's the point, right? And I tried to explain it to Bloom, was if you guys go
That's
into
an
it thinking
issue.
this every time, and the boys are met with this kind of aggression all the time, of course they're gonna fucking panic and be like, you know what, fuck these cops, yeah, because it was simple, a simple traffic ticket. But then you jumped on the radio asking for 78s. He's like, oh well, another Seaside car pulled up. I said that car was actually unrelated to whatever the fuck happened there. They just went to use the bank, and there was another one of their boys there. Doesn't mean that they're getting there to fucking shoot you over an illegal parking ticket. And he's just like, oh well, yeah, HOA wouldn't shoot us over a parking ticket. And it's just like, okay, so you can differentiate the same as we can differentiate between the different cops that aren't going to go full blown crazy. But then when you start stepping that shit up, of course they're going to bite back because they're sick of the shit that's been thrown at them. Like I had a car. One of the boys were pitted into me and a group of people at Hayes at severe speed over 100 by Davenport. Car slammed into me, and when I was talking to Davenport later on, his response was, "The people inside of Hayes are the least of my concern when I'm chasing your boys." Why the fuck is that even being said?
It's not
I had a
ideal.
car slammed the fuck into me from a chase.
Oh,
I
that
don't
was
give a
Davenport.
fuck who it was. I know it was
Davenport
Davenport. That's why I said I was
smacked,
talking to
Fredo.
him.
No, he got both of us. He got both of us in the same
Yeah,
smack.
Davenport smacked Fredo because Fredo was stopping to try to pick one of us up. He smacked the fuck out of his car, which sent Fredo's car flying towards you guys.
Well, here that's the issue.
I went off at Davenport, and that's what he said.
That's the issue with this entire thing. This is like it becomes an infinite loop.
Yeah.
So it
And
started with maybe one bad incident. They upped aggression. Next time you run into them, it's the same thing. Somebody keeps upping the aggression, and there's just like, how do you come back from that? Like, if they
but the different, Michael.
How is that different?
No, the different is we try to reach out through Reggie, through me. I've been down there trying to talk to people in the PD to de-escalate.
You didn't fucking cut me.
Me as a fucking gang in Los Santos is trying to go to fucking PD and de-escalate the fucking situation. Because
I know that's not what
no, but we do this like occasionally. But what about the other gangs around here who have a shootout with the fucking PD every fucking day?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah,
about the whole escalation thing that you said. So, in all honesty, from what I've noticed, at the very least, almost every single thing that we do, because of the time frame that we're around, Davenport is always primary unit or always there first. He's always part of it somehow, right? Look at the whole Haze thing, for example. That was over the Black Series that we got, right? When we did the S plus.
Right.
Davenport was the one that rammed me and Reggie. Davenport also pulled up to the bystanders because they were like applauding and shit, pretty much calling him a dumbass. He's like, "Oh, keep laughing when you don't have a mechanic shop," blah, blah, like just making threats about shutting down Haze and shit, right? Davenport is the one that rammed me today into a tree and made me fly out the windshield. And I got stuck inside of a fucking tree. Davenport is also the one that rammed me and Smalls off of our bike and then ran up and started cuffing us when we were on the floor recovering from getting ran over by a bike. So Davenport, in all honesty, is part of every single one of these things.
Yeah, but that's the issue is that
super overly aggressive in every single thing.
Yo.
Now, obviously, nothing we do is gonna fucking stop it. Yeah, we can fucking go shoot him, do this, do that, but in reality, what the fuck's that gonna do?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? There's nothing we can do.
No, nothing we can do. But yeah, we're trying to de-escalate. We're trying to open channels towards the PD to have a conversation to try to figure out, a way of coexist. If that makes sense.
We end up as the bad guys, even though he's the one that keeps doing overly aggressive shit.
It doesn't matter, in the big picture. But at the same time, where JJ's coming from, with the bike swaps, like I remember that as well, but this is like a couple of months ago. We knew that if we use bikes, the cops will go hard. And I guess that's where your mindset is coming from. But what I'm trying to get out there, today it doesn't matter. At this moment, it doesn't matter what you do.
It's one of those things where
from the get-go.
You get to a point where it's really hard to
I know as well when we were doing jobs back in the days, we
because
were like,
of aggression,
no bikes,
and they keep saying that they had one incident. I know that's not true.
So we stay away from it. We use cars. We
they
have
had
a
the entire
helicopter,
thing with
we
Dark,
go there,
which is
we do
also
this,
probably part of it.
And I know where it comes from, but and the more swaps you're doing, the more angry they will do. The same with the more blocks you're doing, the more angry they'll become. The more reason they will have to shoot you. The more Camachos you're bringing, the more agitated they will be and try to fucking, boom you wherever they can. So
it's both sides that have to agree on something. But if one side doesn't agree, it's just
it's a bad thing for the PD, and they will, like, if they hear, see, or recognize one of you guys blacked out being a Seaside member, they will do this around these hours. That's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, but you're not wrong.
I think the simple thing as a resolve for the original reason we're talking is when you do a job, you all need to make it clear, established.
The PD Seaside is shootout. That's the bad.
Like
that's
whenever
the thing.
I've
That's
been on
why.
a job with you guys, I point out who's going to fucking run this shit. Right? Have a clear leader for it. Everyone else,
you have to prove that that's not
whatever
the case.
Whatever they want to do goes. Alright, so if JJ's leading it, he wants to do something creative. Don't mention anything. Just let it play out and do his thing. Same with you, Nigel. If you're the one who's leading it, let it play out. Don't turn your fucking radio off, JJ, and handle it. Alright? Very simple.
Stop arguing in the middle of shit. Nothing good comes out of it, all right? Like, if somebody asks for something, do it or try at least, you know, help each other out. If people are in handcuffs, let them be in handcuffs. We understand, everybody agrees. He goes to jail, we take that, you know, no worries. But if there's a possibility to save somebody, we try, at least try. We need to be able to trust each other, and we need to stop fighting, you know, amongst ourselves, because
Yeah.
we have a bigger enemy
That's
out
why I'm
there.
saying, like,
It's the
you
fucking
get to a
feds.
point where it's really hard
And the
to
more
pull
we
back.
fucking beefing in, you know, internally, the happier they are.
You agree to that?
Yep.
All right.
Nigel?
For what? Yeah.
So
He
you guys
doesn't
are
even know
able
what
to
he
walk
just
away
agreed
here
to.
as friends, yeah? Or you
Yeah, I
guys
mean,
need
I
to
wanna
talk
I
to
wanna
each
have a
other?
sidebar with JJ after this action.
Yeah, that's up to you
Whenever we're
guys.
done. Yeah, I just wanna
Yeah,
speak
yeah.
to
No, I
JJ.
feel we're done. Like I said, yeah, I will talk to the other boys here if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Let me talk over here real quick, JJ.
Sorry, yeah, I cut you off there, Michael. I didn't mean to, but
Well, my point is just that if you get a label that the seaside is, you know, shooting, then you have to somehow get rid of that. And that's the... When you come to that point, it's hard to pull back. Because there's going to be escalation, and there's always going to be an outcome that is probably not the desirable outcome. So, and if you try to talk to them, then I don't know. I don't know what else you can really do. But I remember the
Cops been
entire...
saying I need to talk to Snow about Davenport.
But
like I just got
the
off the phone
issue...
to Luca about it.
the issue with that is that you can talk to him. You can say that this is how I feel, this is what's happening. If you don't have any proof of him breaking the SOPs, then it's hard. It's the same as proving, you know, a crime. Because he's breaking
I
SOPs.
think it's more the... Whenever,
long
and
have
I've
you been
experienced this over many years, right? Is as much as I try and keep a somewhat copacetic relationship between both sides, to me, I voice my opinion to the cops, and then they're like, well, it's not me as the problem, so whatever. You're just bitching again. Right? And they can sit there and agree to me the whole fucking time, but then still do nothing to try and change it. For example, Luke is quite high up. He understands my frustration, and he's spent lengths talking to me about it and doesn't agree with the shit that's happening sometimes. But then he has also, on the other hand, said Seaside just shoots cops all the time. Even though
where's
I
that coming
sit there and
from?
explain like the reasons why we've shot at times. So it's come from them all just sitting there saying together, right? If I
Kind of like
stand
they're...
here,
Yeah, but it's just a lazy way of, you know, like, excuse what the fuck you're doing. Like,
no one
I
wants to
understand we're
deal with the
criminals. I understand we
problem.
do this entity. I understand we shoot sometimes, you know, but we are not known for being a gang that is like, hey, you pressure us, we kill you.
Well, if they
We
do
are
push our
not.
buttons, we kill them.
If they push
But
us into a
it's
corner where
less
we don't
that.
see, if we don't see another way of getting out of this, then we
I think
strike.
the correct thing you should have said there was that we're not one that just shoots just for the fun of it. Right?
Yeah.
We shoot when we either A, have to, like that S plus, or B, we've been pushed to a point where it's just fuck you.
Yeah, or we're doing a
You
meth
clearly
run.
do not give a fuck anymore. So I'm fucking over the top with this now. So talking to them, to me, as much as I've done it many times, it just feels like it falls on fucking deaf ears, and it's just fucking Reggie bitching again. When in reality, I'm just trying to make it so everyone can enjoy waking up and doing shit. As
Yeah,
odd as
it's
that
fucking
sounds.
easier to deal with another gang we're at war with, you know, because at least we can have a meeting, we can have a talk, we can agree, we can disagree, and we can work towards a common goal of moving forward. With this cops, there's no moving forward. I don't know. I feel like you're talking to deaf ears. It doesn't matter what you say, what you do, whatever evidence you have, you know, they will always back their, you know, their
Yeah,
own shit, and
that makes more sense.
we would do the
That's where
same,
it
of
came
course,
from, is
but
the meth runs.
like the only thing
Like
I
there's
feel is
plenty.
like reach out to other gangs who has the same fucking experience with the cops, you know, and just join forces. And you know, like, hey, you want to, yeah, you want the heat? Here, you got it.
Yeah, but like I said, that's just still
Then they
gonna
will
end up
bitch and
doing the
cry
same shit.
about getting shot everywhere. You know what I mean? Because I've been there as well.
Started from a parking ticket.
Doesn't matter.
I don't see a way to make a
Wait,
resolve.
I
from
thought that
this.
was just an example. Did they
Um,
shoot somebody for a parking
Like,
ticket?
I don't care. I can go talk to Snow again.
You can talk to him,
And
you know, like
talk to him about Davenport because he's in
keep the
like
channels
he's
open.
Davenport's boss, but it's also going to come down to
Oh,
the
I would have
point
lost
of
my
like
shit
I don't
if I
need
was a fucking.
receipts for
Yes,
this or anything
no.
like that
Yeah.
to explain about the
Then
situations.
what happened?
Like if Davenport tells me he doesn't give a fuck about me when he's chasing Seaside, that's kind of fucked.
Yum.
And that shit's
Oh, like so.
crazy.
So they
Especially
didn't
saying
shoot
that,
somebody
you
because of a
keep
parking
laughing
ticket, but
until you lose your business. And that kind of like
but it ended in
The
a,
cops
in
are
a
one
shit
thing
show.
though, but the more like I gotta be honest with you, like of course, what Nigel said is out of pocket. It should never be said, right? And I understand that. But the way JJ takes it and handles it afterwards, it's not good, man.
no.
It's
This is
bad.
the
Going off the
second
radio and
time,
letting him
man.
get
This
caught.
is the second time he's like turned his back on the boys again, bro. Like I don't know.
I don't care.
I
About the
got
turn
a
in the
lot to
back
say
shit,
about
like,
it. It's just like whatever to me at this point.
I don't care about the turn in the back shit. The other thing, I'm not putting it on the same page. When it comes to turning off the radio and letting your boys get caught by cops, that's not good.
Well, I'm gonna be devil's advocate again
Yeah, please, please.
because he did literally say somebody. He literally said somebody who's not JJ, come help.
Because JJ didn't want to help. That's why he said it.
Yum.
Yeah,
be
well,
honest,
I
Also
know, but
rolls
again, I'm just a devil's advocate.
Yum.
I'm just
Well,
saying that
it's
that's
not
what he
good, like
said
I
literally.
you know, ask him to pick up a bike, lockpick a bike, and come and pick him off. He said he will not use a bike. He said, "Okay, can somebody who's not JJ help me?" Or not JJ, who is best friends with the cops, help me.
Yeah.
I still.
So
That's funny,
trust me,
anyway.
that is so bad, and it should never occur. It should never happen. It doesn't
that
matter
ain't
how.
funny, Draco, at all.
That it is funny. Like if you
No,
think
it's
about
not.
it, it's like
It
funny.
is not funny.
I think it's funny. I like
Okay,
if you
well,
would have said that to me, I would have
that's a
taken it
bad.
serious.
That's a bad mindset. Well, there's a difference between you, and I don't think I need to point out the obvious here. But you got to think about the comments that JJ himself gets a lot of the time inside of his fucking head. He doesn't need that shit in the
Oh,
city.
I know that, but I'm just
That's
like
why I
I'm
said that
thinking
it's
to
off the
myself,
cuff.
you know.
And Nigel definitely wouldn't have meant it that way. But you gotta think that this shit should never be said from us.
No, we
And
agree.
I don't
and I think
agree.
everybody.
Like I don't agree that JJ should just shut off completely. But like I said, devil's advocate
No,
is that
you
he was requesting somebody that wasn't JJ to come and help. So JJ wasn't in the wrong, but it's still he handled it incorrectly.
Well, he handled it incorrectly in the first place by getting us to get a bike, and he denies that. You know, like
Yes.
I gotta be honest with you. If somebody of you guys are in the trouble, I will use whatever what it takes, bike, car, helicopter, whatever, to try to save you. It doesn't matter what it is.
It comes on both sides. They're both aggravating each other. It's a just how it is.
That should be like the end of it. We need to be able to establish
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I would say. I mean, I told him like I'll ask you guys, but like Axel, Donut, Mona, and whoever
They
the
will
other
probably
person.
not want to do a job with JJ in the future.
No,
but
no,
it's
no.
also
They said they
it's one of the
wanted to-
reasons
they
why
wanted
I'm
to at
not
least,
good to
like,
have
talk with
in
you
this
guys
kind of
about it.
situations
You
because
guys can know how they
the way
feel,
I
right?
do things and I have always
Bring
done things
everybody
in
here
Michael
then,
is
like
I don't know
if you're in a
you guys-
chase
I don't feel like
think
and
that's
you're at
really
the
relevant
point
to
where you're
continue
just fucked.
dragging
I'm not
through
trying
it.
to get out of cuffs 50 times
I
to get
mean,
in a
they-
car.
No,
I
maybe
mean,
not
I feel
trying
like-
to do it,
two
but if
boys.
they have something to say, we need to hear them out as well. Like
I'll
we
do a
should
swap
just
maybe
shut it off.
once,
Like,
but I'm not gonna
at
swap,
the same time, I feel like
swap.
if JJ is gonna be here with us, would that happen? I feel like it's kind of like every time everybody's boiling
Yeah,
on top of
yeah.
JJ, and I don't like that. But he kind of like put himself in those fucking situations every fucking time. I'm sorry to
I just
say,
think
but
that it's just such a fucking simple resolve to it. Is establish the fucking leader for the job, and that's it.
Well, yeah, pretty much the
I think
memo
that's
from what
so
I
easy.
understand, what they were saying is, like, what they understand that what like Nigel said probably wasn't good, but like Nigel did ask for
it is
help,
not good.
and
It's
like
no
he
problem.
kind of just denied it, and then the boys are kind of just like, I mean, yeah, he asked for help, you should have just done it instead of like argued. if you want to argue, you argue afterwards, not like in between the jobs and shit.
Yeah, that's
And
one
like
other thing.
they know that they got him like sent to jail. It should be because of JJ because he didn't even help or nothing. So I don't know. It's up to you guys. Do you want me to bring him here or like call him over? I think Dona, Axel, Mona, and I forgot who else. One more.
In
The thing
my
here,
opinion,
yeah,
is we've dealt with it as council already between the two of them. They were the two root problems themselves. The others should just understand that we've handled this. It doesn't mean that we don't need to hear from them, but we also, like KJ said, don't need people piling on JJ because going to feel a certain type of way after.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I
Mm.
break cuff once if I'm not washed, and then maybe one swap. But that's
Because
it.
I don't think this went the way that JJ thought it was going to go. Right? When he spoke to me about it. But I spoke with Michael and KJ. We decided that's it. We'll just bring fucking JJ here.
and that's why I
handle it.
wanted them both here, because I've been talking to like history with JJ, and like everybody else when they talk, they speak their own cause, you know, the way they see it. And that's why it's good to have, because JJ is very good at talking to you one on one, talking to me one on one, talking to you one on one, talking to you one on one. When everything is put to the table, kind of like it, yeah, it changed, you know, the narrative a little bit. Not that I'm against anyone, but the problem here that can occur is like if this is the second time, people will like if I was a member of Seaside, I'm gonna do a job. I don't know if I would do a job with JJ. You see what I mean?
I already said, and like I
Isn't
know
this
it's a
the
bad
first time it's
mentality.
happened in a job?
Yeah. What?
Like I know
Isn't
it's
this
a
the
bad
first time?
mentality with with this,
Second
but like
time.
I've said that
In the
like
job.
I'm not gonna do a job with JJ. I just can't do it because we have such different mentalities. 1, 2 jobs. We just always butt heads, but no matter what.
Yeah, I do the same. That is not a good thing.
I know it's not, but it's just,
But that's always going to be a thing. I would do a job with JJ because I have somewhat the same mentality as him. I agree.
And
I
I'm also
dislike
of the
bike
same
swaps, and
mentality.
so it's not a bad thing per
I don't
se.
mind bike swaps. I just like to have an actual full blown plan and make sure that it's like you guys know me when you dealt with me, right? Because I have a backup plan for the backup plan. I over prep.
yeah. It's
It's
like a
just
good
my thing.
example is the meth runs, right? Like JJ likes being sneaky, not really being even seen by the cops. He's just kind of try to like hide the best he can. And then like me and most of the boys, we actually enjoy the chase of it, you know, and, like everything that comes with it, not just trying to hide. So that's like, you know,
How does a
that's
It's a
like the
different
difference.
mentality how you look at, you know, the problem solving. What are you doing basically?
yeah? But again, I can see why he would hide because when you get in a
Yeah.
chase, you're suddenly, now you have to lose them. If you never get them on
Yeah.
you in the first place, it might be boring, but it's
Yeah,
easy
but
to
that's
get
the
out of
thing.
it.
That's
Get the job
boring.
done.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's boring.
but
Like,
that's again that's different mentalities. There's
yeah,
nothing
yeah, yeah.
nothing bad
Yeah.
about it.
I know, but that's
The
what I'm
reason
saying.
why
Like,
I like not
I don't
being
really like
seen
doing
is for a meth run and getting it out nice and clean is because of looking at future runs, right? We know that we need to do these runs, and then when it comes to the blue bags, if you all like fucking doing it just to have cops on you, you're fucking wilding out because that's DT straight up. So you're looking at
Yeah,
3
but I
years in
can't say
fucking
that,
prison for your
Prolos. I
first
can't say
charge as
yeah,
a
but how
minimum,
does that usually end? Because I don't
and
know.
anyone else that's involved in that shit.
They have to
So
say
that
that,
shit you
but
need to
they
somewhat
end in
make sure that you're
shootouts.
low key for. And if you've practiced enough on being low key, you know you're Gucci when it comes to the blue ones.
I mean, I know we can do it. It's just like I said, we enjoy the chase. We actually
We like
enjoy
to switch
like,
it up a little bit.
yeah.
Sometimes you like to be sneaky, sometimes we like to be loud. It depends on the day and the mood and whatever. With the plans, I feel like everybody has plans. It's just the eyes who are looking at it. Somebody thinks my plan are dog shit, but somebody like them, you know, think they're good. But having backup of backup, that's good. When it comes to bike swaps, I don't think we're not a gang that used to do bike swaps that often. We have bikes ready if we need them, basically. That's about it.
Yeah, primary people on bikes were always myself or fucking Bodie
Yeah.
when we needed to. And
But I don't
sometimes
understand
JJ
that
actually used to be
mentality either.
bikes as well.
Yeah. But I know the old mentality. I understand because back in the days, you know, we had this meeting with the cops, you know, and they said if you guys use bikes, you know, we will go extra hard on you. But nowadays they
Which I
bring
don't
the
understand.
they bring the 150%
Yeah.
hardness, you know, in the when you leave the bank right now. So there's no different, you know.
All right, well, yeah, I
But
feel like
like
we're
that
going
one
in
you said
circles
with
at
all the
this
Yeah.
point.
bugs.
Yeah, no, we're going in circles, but
Just another quick update. Apparently, Mona and the boys made a deal with the ballers that we won't tax them for like the weed drop offs we have around here.
Alright.
They won't tax us for the the packing spots that they hold down.
Okay.
I feel
Okay,
like
I'm
that
that's
is
gonna
good.
good.
tax them if they drop off at my door.
No, don't
No, you're not
please.
gonna
Don't
do
My,
please.
that.
my tax is 1 joint.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. Yeah, do that then.
But I literally do that to everyone that I see that comes up to my door. Is either 1 joint, bit of food, whatever. I honestly don't give a fuck. I just like fucking with people.
Yeah, that's a good deal. But I hope they can talk it out, and because I don't want this to be a thing where, you know, it can be a thing where people be like, "Oh, JJ's here. Yeah, I think I just step out."
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's pretty fucking petty, bro. Like this shit is not that serious.
No,
I don't
he's
think.
petty as fuck.
All right, well, I'm
And
gonna
I
go
don't
ahead
want
and
to punish Nigel either for saying what he said. Like it's dumb, but like
oh,
bullshit
Nigel's
is
He
dumb
stupid for
here.
that.
understands.
Nigel's stupid for that. But
Yeah,
it was
he's
funny. Like I find
I
it
think he
funny, but it's
understands.
just like it's
no,
just
no, no.
stupid.
It's stupid, but both of them are stupid. You know, it's kind of like two guys who are trying to, you know, rationalize what the fuck they're saying. You know, and
Monkey.
I don't know.
Thank you so much for the 2 months.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? I'm pretty sure this was like Nigel's vault, anyways, because he's like the main hacker alongside with Donut. I
Mhm.
mean, like obviously, like he was the one leading it, and then JJ tagged
That's
along.
the
He actually
problem.
joined them.
JJ didn't know he was leading.
Oh, he
We
did.
asked
What the
JJ
fuck?
that.
How
We
the fuck
asked
did he
JJ
not
that, and
know?
he said he didn't.
He knew the boys claimed it, and who are the main hackers leading it? Nigel and
But is that
Donut.
But
Of course,
that's
that's a
why I'm
common
saying that you
sense.
need to make an established thing, not just hope that people think that.
So I mean, okay, that was kind of obvious, but we'll spell it out for him next time.
Yeah, putting in writing.
Jesus Christ, like a fucking kindergarten.
I think they're gonna go make out now.
Oh, maybe he doesn't need his blood pressure medicine.
Maybe this is what they needed, you know, to get a little bit closer, to understand each other, to understand like because they haven't been doing too much together, and JJ has been absent, you know.
I'm
Like he's been
surprised
around, but
JJ
he
is
haven't
even
been with the
doing
boys for a
something
couple
because
of
everyone
weeks.
keeps
So
saying he's not.
Yeah, at all.
it's a
I know he's playing
dynamic
Jobs with us.
that you need to be around certain people for a certain amount of time, you know, to be able to understand what's going on and the level of how people talk to each other, deal with each other, and stuff like that. We should get away with this fucking arguing in the middle of doing shit. That goes for me. That goes for everybody here as well.
All right, well, are we all Gucci then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, stay safe. Yeah, need anything, let me know. I'll roll.
Well, though.
Yeah, I need Davenport murdered.
Consider it done.
What the fuck? He doesn't even answer. Cunt.
You problem right there.
See, if you need any move, thinker. Oh, fucking hell, man. Sometimes I feel like we're in a fucking kindergarten.
Oh, trust me.
It's fucking crazy to me.
How does the... So when they say they go balls to the walls rather than sitting and hiding, how does that usually end? Like I know meth runs, especially when it comes to Hydra, always end up in shootouts. Is that just a general?
Yeah, that's the general.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you're
So just-
able to hide and stay away from the cops, it's because the cops are busy with something else and, you know, don't pay too
No,
much attention to you.
there's ways that you can do it and avoid getting cops on you. You just gotta make sure, like what we used to do, Michael, is I would have like a set leader, right, which is usually the one who's in the car driving, and then we would have people positioned all around the fucking city and make sure that we're ahead of them to see whether or not cops are coming. That way, and if they were, then they'd divert. We'd always be circling around that, so that we knew where cops were and we're trying to fucking get rid of them. So we'd be driving on railway tracks and all that kind of shit. So there are ways that you can really minimize the chance of having cops there. But like they said, they just enjoy the thrill of it, but they're not going to enjoy the thrill of it when you get onto the fucking blue bags and And the downside is if you keep getting caught, you ain't getting onto the book bags.
Well, it's also more if
And
they
there's a
enjoy
massive difference.
if they enjoy the thrill of it and it always ends in a shootout. That's probably part of the problem. What was the entire Dark thing that happened as well? Because I remember with the Dark
swinging
and
his
Benji.
dick?
Yes.
Such a fucking idiot. Are you
What are
good,
you guys
bro?
doing?
Really?
I'm
Really?
so sorry.
Donut's driving.
Why are you driving
no.
like a fuckwit?
I was just driving back to Hayes, man.
Yeah, why are
Sorry.
you driving like a fuckwit though?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
You don't
guys.
have to.
I'm sorry. It's just
Hey,
how normally
Appreciate your
drive.
apology.
I'll punish you.
Yeah, so Dark decided to swing his fucking big dick.
Well, I'm not
in
saying
Benji in
I'm
an
not saying it's
interrogation,
just
telling him
you
that,
know always gets off and
because how
you
aggressive
hide.
Seaside's been, they're gonna just start shooting Seaside on side of jobs. Never actually amounted to anything. However, when you put the gang leader in an interrogation room and threaten violence against his gang,
Not violence.
Like
It was shoot on sight. If you see a
That's
CSAT member, they
violence.
would shoot.
So,
Yeah, but you need to say it how it is. Like the problem is the cops are like, I gotta be honest with you, Michael. When it comes to shit, you have different shift. Different shift means there's a different amount of fucking people working. When we normally do our things, it's a little bit lighter, when it comes to the police force. Later on, on the day, there have more people around, basically. Everybody knows that. When we are mainly around, we are the biggest gang who's around and doing stuff, and we tend to almost never go to violence with guns. We always try to stay away from it. But that one time when we choose to do it, the cops are not used to it, so they want to swing their dick back at us. Then we basically show them what's up, and
is that copium?
we wiped them. Like we
Chad, is that copium?
we shot them all down, the whole police force, and they couldn't handle it. And since then, they've been having a hard on for what we are doing.
Okay.
So that's the honest truth.
see, with PD, it's always we're gonna remember everything that you did to us from fucking months ago, but all the shit we do to you, we're cops, deal with it. And when you deal with that, then they just add that to their list of shit that you've done and why they're pissed. That's the big problem with their mentality.
Well, yeah, but you have to figure out how to do something about that. Because now we're in an infinite.
Can stop being a gang. I think that's one thing.
No, because that's not how it works. Are they?
No.
Are they this aggressive with all gangs? Because then we cannot play. If
I
if
can't
they're
really
not,
answer that.
no. But if they're not, then we can't just throw the Seaside card that they have a hard on for Seaside. If they're only aggressive with Seaside, there's probably a reason for it. We need to figure that out and fix it. Which is what
Actually,
I
I
would
lie. I can answer that. I can answer that quite well.
Okay.
During the shift shift 3, we are the primary aggressors as criminals and the largest gang that PD deals with. All right. So we're in their face the majority of the time. They deal with us more than they deal with any other gang through this time. So it's what they know. Now, when we go to other shifts, they don't deal with just us. They deal more, say, for shift 1, they deal more with Hydra, right? So they probably say similar things about them, about how they always shoot and that kind of shit, yeah? It's another meth run. We're going to get shot by Hydra, that kind of shit, right? And they don't say that about us. And that's why they don't treat us like absolute fucking shit when it gets later into this storm. But the early ones, they mainly just deal with us. So they sit there and they realize they're dealing with us all the time. So it's what's always in the forefront of their mind. Because Seaside always does this. When in reality, how many other people do they actually fucking deal with that do jobs like what Seaside does in this time? Not many.
Well, my point is just, it's an infinite loop of aggression. Because people are going to get pissed, and then the other side is going to get pissed, and then you're going to get pissed, and then the other side is going to get pissed. So we need to figure out, even though it might be a lost cause from the start, a way to lessen aggression from both sides.
Yeah.
And I'm
What
not
we
saying
need
it's
to
easy,
do-
and I'm not saying that we can just call somebody up and be like, "Hey, Davenport is a fucking asshole," because that's not gonna do shit. It's the way they see things, and it's the way that we present it to them. Because right now, every time something happens and it ends in a shit show, people are just gonna get annoyed, and it's gonna, you know, it's gonna build up, and then it's gonna go back to shootout, and then it's gonna
No,
go
but
back to
that's one
square.
thing we told the boys. Like, if you're racing, put away your gun. They
Well-
did a bank job now. They didn't have guns. So we are kind of like de-escalating by not shooting.
Right.
They are going hard. Like, they're going so hard that the boys want to shoot them.
Yeah, and that's what I
Every day.
mean. But
We are kind of letting them get their anger out with us fucking fighting back.
and maybe that's the way to go, and then we just have to bite the bullet and let them, do that.
But why? But then again, you said devil's advocate. Why the fuck do we always need to be the guys who is de-escalating, who is trying to mend, the problem that's happening and trying to do everything, Like,
Because PD is a bigger gang than we are, and they can fuck us up every time if they want to.
aren't they here to protect and preserve? And
Yes,
like,
and you're
fucking
doing a crime.
de-escalate? Yeah, I'm
No, they're
doing
here
a
to
crime. but
obey and survive.
aren't their job, like, aren't they getting paid by the fucking state to do their fucking job? I'm not paid for anyone to go over there and de-escalate a fucking situation. Shouldn't it be the other way? He comes to me and say, hey, how can we fix this problem? Why
Well-
should it be us as a fucking gang coming over there and say, hey, can we have a sit down? Can we have a
Yeah,
talk?
I
How
get it.
can we
Devil's
fix
advocate,
this? Yeah.
because you know that I'm always trying to fix this shit. But devil's
Yeah.
advocate, once they get that hostage out, they've done their job.
Yeah.
Now the job is to shut your shit down.
The second you get in the car and drive off,
We
it's
have
not
nothing
de-escalating.
against that. We have nothing against they're doing the job. Nobody said that.
How's this
in
conversation
their way
going?
of
We need
doing
to
the
find a
job
way
by
to
trying
fix it.
kill or take my life in the process. That's the difference.
If you know a way to fix this, then I'm all ears. Yeah, that's what I'm like. We just need to find a way to fix it. And if nobody
Yeah,
is
the only way, let them get their aggression out and just smile and wave. Don't shoot. Don't bring weapons. That's the only way. And we need to do that for maybe a month or two. And let's hope they calm down. They get their ego boost again. They're good. Because everything stems from being fucking big dick egos.
How do
The biggest of them all are in the fucking police force. They act like the biggest gang. They try to be the biggest gang. But if they want to fucking so hard to be gangbangers, fire them from the police force. Make their own fucking gang, and we can see. We can meet on the streets and see how big the fucking are then.
They're already
the
getting
fucking
heated.
shields and fucking saved from the fucking government. They're fucking pussies. That's what they are. Sorry, a little
No, you're
tantrum
fine.
there.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm not saying you should just roll over, but at this point, like one side has to give, because if both sides are worrying about their ego, nothing is ever going to happen. And as much as I hate it, as much as I don't think you should have to, PD is and will always be the bigger gang, and they will fuck you because they are allowed to, while you're not allowed to do the things you're doing. So this is a losing battle. If it's always a losing battle. Like, being a criminal is a losing battle. Yeah.
For us, it's more about the aggression. It's not that they're aggressive, because we understand that. We understand they have a job. We understand they're aggressive. They understand they want to arrest you. And we can handle that. Nobody has an issue. Nobody has an ego or anything towards it. It's more about, the way you get to your goal. And if the way is to try to take your life in the process, I think that's, where the issue stems from, Getting pitted off a bike in 120, get pitted with your car into a fucking wall, you fly out.
Yeah, well, I would lose my shit too.
Yeah, but you need to just take it on the chin, smile, and just let them do it so they can get the satisfaction of burning you alive. And how long can you take that? That is the question. How long can we, as Seaside, just look at it and say, hey, boys, chill, relax. Just let them do it. Let them get their anger out.
They already talked, is what they're saying. So
let them get the ego boost. Or should we fight back and show them, because we know we have done it multiple times. So we show them, if you want to, we can end their fucking life and career if you want to.
All right, time to dip. I just showed up.
Yeah. Sorry, like, I think the right way was we're doing, Stop doing this gun shit.
Hmm?
There's the prism is down there.
Listen, if shooting Davenport over every time he fucking does that, and just Davenport, would it help with the situation? Would be what to do, but it won't help anything.
I'll talk to Snow whenever we do it right along again and shooting. I'll
It's
talk to him
just
then.
shit.
Just bring things up and talk.
At least take us seriously when we're reaching out a hand to try to open, you know, a pipeline of communication, you know? Give us that courtesy.
BBMC.
What's
Sorry.
I was trying to fucking talk.
Hmm.
I think they were yelling war with BBMC.
Like a
Yeah.
second, I need to. I have like 50 people that call me. Read.
Hello, Dr. Reed Dankley.
How about we strap up
What?
Reed with bombs?
What do you want?
What are you up to?
What am I
I
up
don't know.
to?
I feel like you've been ghosting me, man.
I'm in fucking meetings.
No, is it the war?
He blew me up
No,
yesterday,
no.
Michael. Fuck that guy.
Why did you blow up Reggie?
Oh my god, is that turning into a thing?
No, I'm just asking. He's upset with you, but it's not turning into a thing. It's not like you're gonna go to war with Seaside.
No, it's just a back and forth.
No, just
Me and
throw
Reggie
in the
hate each other.
boogeyman
What do you
scum.
mean?
In the name of KJ.
Yeah, but so that's all. It's just a back and forth.
Yeah, we hate each other. He was
What
also
back
no
and
ballsing
forth?
me
There
yesterday.
was not even a fourth from me.
He's saying there's no back and forth. There's not even forth from him.
Oh my god, he's being a diva.
He's being a diva.
Yeah, he's being a diva.
Well, that does sound like Reggie, but
He's being a diva, and you know what? He
Oh,
needs
I'm
to
sorry,
calm
I'm
down
pissed that
before
I
I
got
put him
fucking
down
blown
there
up.
with Fredo
Jeez.
in the Seaside ranking.
okay.
Uh,
You wanna elaborate?
oh, Seaside's got a couple fake gangsters in it that just ain't it.
Okay. You wanna elaborate because I've heard something about this already, and it seems like you guys are just being dicks about it.
Not really. Okay, so what happened is me and Eugene were robbing houses in Vinewood Hills. Vinewood Hills,
Right.
right? And then these cars come up, start G-checking us, going, "What you guys doing? What you guys doing?" We said we were robbing houses, and then we drive off, and then they come back and check us again, and we're like, "Who are you guys?" And there's like, "Read the chain, check the chain, check the chain, check the chain, check the chain." They don't introduce themselves. All they care about is us reading their chain.
Well, that's not what I was told was happening.
Well, that's all that we know what was happening. They're like, yeah, okay, it says Seaside, and then the guy was just like, got it there. Yeah, read it, you old fuck. And like, they were being aggro for nothing.
So Eugene didn't, casually stroll up and start fucking robbing a local.
In the Vinewood Hills, no.
I
They were
don't
robbing
fucking know.
houses.
So you're saying all of this is because of Vinewood Hills?
Yes, we were robbing houses in the hills.
And you're saying Seaside was in the hills G-checking you?
Yes. We have no idea why.
Reggie, why are we G-checking people in Vinewood Hills?
Because the car was coming from Seaside Turf where the local was robbed.
Like, I don't even know who G-checked us.
Was he in the
Because they
car
wouldn't
with
even say
Eugene?
who they
Must
were.
be-
All they just kept saying was, read the chain, read the chain, read the chain.
Well, I can see why people didn't want to bring... Like, they don't have to tell you their names. Anyways, that's... So what? You're saying that the car came from Seaside Turf and went to Vinewood Hills?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. All I know is that they were
That's what I
Seaside.
was told.
That's what you were told.
Not even just Seaside Turf, but from where the local was robbed.
I didn't realize you guys hold down the Vinewood Hills.
Well, that's not the concern. I don't think they care
What the
about Vinewood Hills. They care
What the
about
fuck was the concern?
the concern that somebody robbed a local, and that's where.
Well, why didn't they just fucking say that? We could have told them no, it wasn't us.
I don't fucking know. We can figure that out.
Yeah, where is he?
I don't know. So I sent out a tweet. Are there any good Seaside members around? I think it pissed off a couple of them.
Well, it probably pissed off the people that were involved.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen. I don't know. It felt like it felt like I was down in the South Side dealing with the fucking ballers, or fucking SF. And it wasn't the Seaside I've come to know and love. Felt like I was dealing with a South Side gang, Michael.
Right.
Is that what Seaside has become? A South Side gang?
I don't know. You tell me.
It felt like it, Michael, and I don't like